Meghan Markle may walk into a room expecting every eye to turn, every conversation to pause, and every important person to make space for her, but what happens when the world simply refuses to play along? Because behind the polished photographs, carefully staged appearances, and celebrity encounters, there is a pattern that critics say is impossible to ignore. Moments when the attention Meghan Markle appeared to expect simply never arrived. And some of these moments were not merely awkward. They were painfully public, brutally uncomfortable, and impossible to hide once the cameras were rolling. Just days after her birthday, Meghan Markle and Harry traveled to Canada for the David Foster Foundation's 40th anniversary gala, an event that should have been a celebration of philanthropy, generosity, and the work being done behind the scenes. Yet, according to the dramatic account surrounding the evening, the attention quickly shifted toward the couple themselves as they posed for photographs on the red carpet. Then came the moment that set social media gossip into overdrive. David Foster approached the group, and Meghan Markle appeared to gesture toward where she wanted him to stand. But David Foster did not stop to respond to her direction. He simply continued walking and took his place in the photograph. That tiny interaction may sound insignificant, but gossip exploded around Meghan Markle's expression, with critics interpreting her reaction as visible irritation. Was it simply a misunderstanding? Was David Foster distracted? Or was the moment something more revealing? To those already watching closely, it looked like a powerful reminder that not everyone was prepared to follow Meghan Markle's lead. And then came Serena Williams' world, where another uncomfortable moment allegedly unfolded. Meghan Markle attended a tennis match where Serena Williams was competing, and Serena Williams' mother was there supporting her daughter. Meghan Markle reportedly saw an opportunity to establish that familiar connection in a much more visible way, but the expected warmth did not materialize. Serena Williams' mother appeared focused elsewhere, and the attention Meghan Markle seemed to seek simply was not returned. In the brutal language of celebrity gossip, that was enough to transform an ordinary interaction into another alleged snub. One person wanted recognition. The other appeared completely uninterested in participating in the moment. Then the story moves to Australia, where Meghan Markle and Harry visited Bondi Beach surrounded by reporters and cameras. Normally, a crowd of photographers would guarantee attention, but the most memorable figure in the scene was reportedly not a celebrity at all. A young woman was sunbathing nearby, apparently enjoying her own day and refusing to treat the arrival of Meghan Markle and Harry like a historic event. She did not jump up, she did not dramatically move aside, she simply remained where she was, and that almost casual indifference became the entire story. In a world where celebrities are accustomed to people reacting to them, there was something almost devastating about someone behaving as though nothing unusual was happening at all. The timeline then jumps back to 2014, before Meghan Markle entered royal life, when she was still trying to establish herself in Hollywood. Well, during a Christmas performance, Meghan Markle appeared on stage alongside Rob Riggle and Kelly Pickler to perform White Christmas. Yet critics looking back at the footage have focused on the physical space between the performers, interpreting it insert as social distancing directed specifically toward Meghan Markle. Was it intentional? Was it simply how the performers happened to stand? Nobody can know from a photograph or short clip alone, but gossip does not need certainty to ignite a controversy. It only needs a detail that looks strange enough to make people ask questions. And then came Switzerland. Meghan Markle reportedly traveled there to deliver a lecture in an open-air park where chairs had been arranged for the audience. The expectation, according to the narrative surrounding the event, was that her celebrity status would draw a substantial crowd. Instead, the scene became the kind of public relations nightmare that no polished photograph can completely erase. People were reportedly walking past rather than stopping to listen, leaving chairs visibly empty while Meghan Markle continued with her presentation. Imagine the psychological pressure of standing before an audience that simply does not appear. Imagine expecting a crowd and discovering that the crowd never materialized. For critics, this became one of the clearest examples of the central question surrounding Meghan Markle. What happens when the spotlight she expects refuses to arrive? After that, another alleged rejection emerged during Paris Fashion Week. Meghan Markle met Kristen Scott, an established figure in the fashion world, and reportedly attempted to begin a conversation. But the interaction allegedly failed to produce the response Meghan Markle wanted. Rather than receiving the enthusiastic engagement expected in a celebrity encounter, she appeared to be left searching for another conversational escape route. So she turned towards someone beside her and continued talking, attempting to move beyond the uncomfortable moment. But once cameras capture an awkward interaction, the moment can live forever. And that is what makes these incidents so explosive. Individually, each moment can be explained away. A person may have been distracted, a handshake may have been missed, a photograph may may have been changed. A stranger may simply have been enjoying their own day. But when critics place all these moments side by side, they see something much bigger. A recurring clash between expectation and reality, between the attention Meghan Markle appears to anticipate and the indifference that sometimes seems to greet her instead. And if that pattern is real, the question becomes far more uncomfortable. What happens when the world stops treating the spotlight as something Meghan Markle is automatically entitled to? Then came the aftermath of the Queen's death, when Prince William, Harry, Princess Catherine, and Meghan Markle walked together outside Windsor Castle to greet mourners who had gathered to pay their respects. It should have been a solemn moment, but once again, attention turned toward Meghan Markle and the way she interacted with people along the line. While others were waving and offering handshakes, Meghan Markle was seen embracing mourners, creating a visibly more intimate interaction with the public. But then came one woman who refused to play along. As Meghan Markle approached, the woman remained firmly where she was, holding the handrail and showing no obvious excitement at the Duchess approaching. There was no dramatic smile, no eager gesture, and no apparent attempt to create the celebrity moment Meghan Markle might have expected. To critics, that tiny refusal became another supposed snub. Meghan Markle simply continued forward, maintaining her composure while the cameras kept rolling. But that is precisely what made the moment so fascinating. When the expected reaction does not happen, pretending everything is normal becomes part of the spectacle. Then came the birthday celebration for Kris Jenner, a gathering packed with Kardashian family stars and surrounded by the kind of celebrity attention that Meghan Markle and Harry could hardly ignore. The occasion appeared to offer exactly the sort of glamorous environment where their presence could generate photographs, headlines, and connections. Meghan Markle and Harry attended and were photographed with the celebrant and her family. Yet the controversy erupted afterward. Photographs featuring Meghan Markle and Harry were reportedly removed from Kris Jenner and Kim's social media profiles, triggering speculation that the Sussexes had somehow been pushed out of the public presentation of the celebration. Was it simply a social media cleanup? Was there another explanation? Or did someone decide those particular photographs were better left unseen? The internet did what it always does with a mystery. It filled the silence with theories. And suddenly, what should have been another glamorous celebrity appearance became another alleged example of Meghan Markle discovering that proximity to famous people does not automatically guarantee permanent inclusion. The next controversy moved much closer to home. In Montecito, the story claimed that Meghan Markle and Harry were not exactly winning over their neighbors. The allegation was that community participation mattered, that residents were expected to interact and contribute, while Meghan Markle and Harry were perceived as keeping their distance. Whether that characterization is fair or not, the gossip surrounding their neighborhood relationships created another uncomfortable narrative. What if celebrity status means very little to the people living next door? Hollywood fame can command cameras, but it cannot necessarily command friendship. And if the people around you refuse to participate in your world, the silence can become louder than any headline. Then came the Kevin Costner event, and this one became one of the most talked about moments because of what appeared to happen around the microphone. Meghan Markle and Harry had been invited to present an award, with Harry following behind Meghan Markle as they approached the stage. Meghan Markle moved forward confidently, seemingly expecting the microphone to be handed over. But instead, she and the host appeared to engage in an awkward struggle over who would control the microphone. The host did not immediately surrender it, and Meghan Markle eventually stepped back. Suddenly, the confident entrance had transformed into an uncomfortable retreat. Critics seized on the footage because the entire exchange lasted only moments, yet those moments created a powerful visual, someone reaching for control and then having to relinquish it. And then there was the podcast controversy. Meghan Markle had reportedly invited Taylor Swift and Bianca to appear on her Archetypes podcast, but neither Taylor Swift nor Bianca appeared. That alone might have been manageable, but the surrounding publicity made the disappointment far more dramatic. When expectations are announced publicly, an absence can become its own headline. The pattern continued at another conference where a man approached Harry, greeted him, and extended a handshake to Harry and the person beside Harry, but apparently did not extend that handshake to Meghan Markle. Once again, a tiny social interaction became enormous under the scrutiny of cameras. Meghan Markle reportedly kept her hand to herself and carried on as though nothing had happened. But the gossip machine had already noticed. Then came the moment involving Harry himself. Harry was called onto a stage to receive an award, and Meghan Markle appeared to move with him. According to the narrative surrounding the footage, Meghan Markle reached for Harry's hand, only for Harry to pull his hand away. Meghan Markle immediately shifted into applause, transforming an allegedly awkward second into something that looked deliberately composed. And finally, Alexis Ohanian entered the story. Meghan Markle spotted Alexis Ohanian, Serena Williams' husband, and reportedly rushed toward him, embracing him while the audience's view was obstructed. The reaction was immediate. Members of the audience allegedly shouted for Meghan Markle to move, while the presenter also appeared to signal that she was blocking the view. Meghan Markle and Harry eventually left the area. Then came Balenciaga. At Paris Fashion Week, the controversy was not merely about Meghan Markle's appearance. Reports claimed Meghan Markle had not originally been invited and had instead reached out herself, expressing her desire to attend. That allegation transformed the entire fashion show story into another question about status. When an invitation does not arrive, does walking through the door anyway prove confidence or reveal desperation? And that is where this entire saga leaves Meghan Markle, surrounded by cameras, surrounded by famous names, yet repeatedly confronted by the one thing celebrity cannot guarantee being wanted: